Hello, hope you are doing really well, and I would like to show you in this video how to fetch an API in the new React 19. So let's go ahead with that right now. Okay, here we are. I just create a project with Byte and I don't have nothing. I didn't change nothing. This is the project by default running in my browser. So the thing that I will do here is just use this file appgsx just for clean this and show like a quickly review about how to fetch an API before React 19. We used to have something like this, right? Like a use state and a use effect. And then in my component users, I just call user because in this example, I will fetch an API of users. So yeah, the first line is just the use state. And then I use the use effect where I can just fetch my API and get the response and put all the user with set users here in my state users. And then here in the return, I just, with a map method, I just show all the users in my screen. The last thing that I do here is in app component, I just return the users. So I will save this, and here I will check in my browser, and I have the users in my screen. So perfect. The thing that I will do now is do exactly the same that I'm doing here, but in React 19. Let's go ahead. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do here is actually go to our package.json and check what we have here, because maybe you come from the future and you already have React 19 installed, but in my case I have at the moment React 18 and React DOM 18. So in order to try React 19 that is at the moment in a beta version, I need to do the next. I will go to my terminal, I will kill this server for a little bit, and I will run this command that I have here. npm install react beta react DOM beta. Let's go ahead, I will put an enter here, and that's it. Look at this, already changed to React 19 in beta version, and like this we can already try React 19. So let's go ahead, let's go to this blog and to this post specifically, and here you can find all the super nice thing about React 19 and all the new things that they are added to React. In our case, we will use this new API use, and we will try to fetch an API like this that is a lot more simple, is a lot more nicer, and have a lot of benefits. Let's take a look on this. Alright, here we are again. So the first thing that we will do now is just don't use anymore the use state and the use effect. We don't need it anymore, so I will delete the state here and also the use effect. Goodbye, man. Okay. So now we will use the new API use, and that's it, like here, you know. So now we will come here, we will put use, and now we should create a function to get the API. So here I will show my function, I will call them fetch users, and then it's an asynchronous function that in the first line I will fetch an API, and in the second line I just receive the response and I use the JSON method. After that I just create a const called user promise where I resolve this function that I wrote here. So that's it. What is the next now? We should create here inside our component users the next, a const that I will call users, and here I will put that is equal, and this is the moment that we actually use the use, and inside the use we will just put our const user promise. So that's it. Something that is important to show here is that, for example, we are just getting the API outside of the component users. This is because this component user, at the end, we will render here inside app. So the thing is that at the moment in the blog, there is a note that says that use does not support promises created in the render, at least not at the moment. So this is why we are doing like this, because if we do all this fetch and stuff inside our component, it's basically the render, because at the end we will render users. So first we do everything outside of our component users, and then we easily can render this here and use the use without any problem. So now we will do something more. First of all, I will save this and I will check if it's working at the moment. So yes, okay. Here are my users, but with React 19. One more thing is that here they use the Suspense too. And this is really nice because the Suspense is super nice to create, for example, a loading, right? It's basically a loading. So if I put my users inside the Suspense, I also need to use the Suspense here. I need to import the Suspense like this here. Okay. So then this is basically a loading in a super easy way to create. The thing is, if I put an H1 here just for seeing bigger, and if I come here to my project and I refresh this, there is a loading fast. So this is how we can create a loading in a super easy way. Before it was a bit more complicated, and first the use will resolve this promise, but in the meantime I will create just a loading in a super easy way with Suspense. So this is a super quick review about how to fetch an API with React 19. Hope you enjoy it, and if it's nice for you this video, if you like it, if you find it useful at least, please consider subscribe. And that's it. See you in the next video. Goodbye.